We are looking at pictures of alleged Colorado shooter James Holmes in his court appearance last week. At this hour, he is being formally charged in the Aurora movie theater shooting that left 12 people dead and 58 people wounded. We have WSJ law reporter Ashby Jones here to tell us some of the details of what's going on. So he has not yet been formally charged, but we expect that to happen today?
That's right. He's been held on suspicion of doing all of these horrible things. And today he will be formally charged. The hearing is likely to be pretty quick. These sorts of things typically are. They will come in, prosecutors will read a list of things that he is charged with. It could be several dozen charges. It could be just a handful. I think in the big scope of things, it doesn't really matter because he's going to get hit with first-degree murder charges, which are likely going to be the ones that get the most of the focus.
And now from everything that I've been reading, I understand a lot of this case is expected to hinge on not did he do it, but possibly insanity defense. Was he in the right state of mind when he did that? Can you talk to me a little bit about that? Sure,
yeah. I mean, analysts have said that that's really where this is going to turn, as a lot of these sort of mass killing cases actually do on the insanity defense. Largely, it comes down to often did he not whether he knew what he was doing was right or wrong, but whether or not he had, I mean, the defense will have to show that he really didn't have any idea of the notion of right versus wrong, that idea was so foreign to him and so misunderstood by him that he really can't can't be held to account for his crimes. There's another sort of wrinkle that could play in, and that came up in the Jared Loughner shooting case, which is he actually mentally capable to stand trial and to understand the charges that are being brought against him? So that might play in as well.
Interesting. Do you think that is something that they could try to argue, that he just isn't even ready to stand trial at all?
Yeah, I think that could be. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. We know very little about this guy. I guess the evidence that we do know is that it looked like there was a fair amount of premeditation that went into this. There's a notebook which he allegedly sent to the psychiatrist that he was seeing. He sent this notebook allegedly before the shooting happened. So I think that the more evidence of premeditation that comes out, the less of a good chance he's going to have, because it shows that he was working, he was doing sort of sane things, or things that made sense to him, or things that he was able to do to get this horrible mission accomplished. So it could be a reach for him.
Wow. And I understand too that a lot of this evidence may not actually come to light, that the judge is trying to keep a lot of it under wraps, assuming for fair trial purposes?
Well, that's right. I mean, the defense is making a whole host of arguments that a lot of this stuff shouldn't come out. There have been, there are sort of police notes. There are obviously stuff that they're going to find from his apartment. This notebook, which I alluded to earlier, which was sent to a psychiatrist. The defense is going very hard, at least initially, to try to argue that a lot of this information shouldn't come out, shouldn't be sort of entered into the court record as evidence. Again, I do think that is largely all going to sort of fade away into the background, and the main issue is going to be the one that you alluded to earlier, Kelly, that is the insanity defense, whether that's going to play.
Okay, and what is the next step then once he is formally charged today?
Once he's formally charged today, then he will presumably be held, and then it's just an exchange of documents between the two sides. A trial date is set, and a lot of these preliminary motions will get argued, like on the insanity defense and on the evidence issues, whether a lot of this stuff can come in. And so both prosecutors and the defense will have a better sense of where everything stands, well in advance of the trial date. So there'll be some waiting in here for the future.